Hello, everybody. My name is Igor Iskakov. I'm an offer manager for digital power energy, Norway. Also, I'm a champion for protection relay and arc protection in our Schneider organization, Nordic. And today we speak about arc flash protection, new line Power Logic A1 and A3. This presentation also will be sent to you, and you can use it for your needs. And also use it as a guidance in some cases. First of all, I would like to speak about the arc flash phenomenon that, of course, everybody understood, but it's good to remember what is the behind of this. So during the arc flash, it is a huge explosion between two conductive parts, and the temperature rising more than 35 Celsius, 1000 Celsius, and it's quite near to the explosion. During this, we have the precious waves, sound waves, vaporized metal, and toxic gases. Also, there are shrapnel metallic parts and component of the switchgear, which is fly on the personnel who is near of this switchgear, for example. So here that factors, which is very dangerous for maintenance personnel. This is like burns, fire, flame projected objects, blast pressure, sound blast, and heat, which is extremely heat and can also be the danger even that its arc flash will stop. So here is some statistic from the USA, but we also can align it for European countries to approximately. So according to USA statistic, they have from the 5 to 10 injuries per day. So if we just thinking about the European countries, so it could be in the total the same. If we're thinking about the Nordics or particularly Norway, for example, Finland, Sweden, so we can decrease on 10, for example. But anyway, 1 injuries per day, it's quite significant. 400 fatals during the arc flash. So this is also quite a significant amount of the people. And if you think that it's also bring to the stop of the production and others complication for production and for the facilities. So the arc flash, it's very dangerous and very significant damage to the facility and to the people. Here, the curve of the arc flash, which is take it in the kilocalorie on the centimeters and on the time. From the time from the 0 to 100 millisecond, it is small damages in the equipment, maybe some scratches in the isolators, and people can be injured, but they survive after recovering. And this is also confirmed by statistics. But when we go on the longer time from the 0 to the 200, 400 milliseconds, even 500 milliseconds, the extremeness of the arc flash is increased. For example, on the temperature of the 600 Celsius, we have a cable fire, fire of these paintings, metal paintings, more than 110, 1100 Celsius. So we have vaporizing copper. Copper start the fire and burns. So in these cases, person who is in this facility near of the switchgear, he can die immediately. If he bring this vaporized copper air, he will die immediately because his lungs will be suffer and he die immediately. 1550, we start spoken about this when the steel start burning and melting. And in this case, nobody survive in this operational room. And more than 500 milliseconds during the arc flash, there happen that all switchgear can be melted down, so there are no any even marks of the existence of the switchgear. So this is extremely dangerous for the personnel. So in these circumstances, we speak about that this area from the 0 to 100 milliseconds, we should eliminate arc flash. It means that we should stop current on the bus bars and supply of this burning of the arc flash. So it's approximately 80 milliseconds, 90 milliseconds, which we have time for open the circuit breaker. So, and this time also it's split it on the two parts. The operational time of the circuit breaker. Modern circuit breaker take operational time from the 35 to the 50 milliseconds. Very old circuit breakers, like oil circuit breakers, it's 80 milliseconds, even 100 milliseconds in some cases. So this is a huge amount of time, and usually to eliminate, of course, the first it's modernization of the circuit breakers and the regular maintenance, which is help secure this time. But one of the most important, this is the time of the operation of the system, which is detect the arc flash less than 10 milliseconds and send command to the open to the circuit breaker. And this is one of importance, and this is the difference between the protection relay and arc flash protection. Typical protection relay is working 30 milliseconds, 35 milliseconds, the fastest over current stage, but arc flash protection can do it less than 10 milliseconds. Our new protection, arc flash protection devices like A1, A3, able to send signal from the dedicating and to the closing contact already for the command on the circuit breaker, 2 milliseconds or even less than 2 milliseconds with two high-speed outputs. And also for some cases, if it's needed, like circuit breaker protection, we can use additional contacts with a 9 millisecond tripping time. And we are very fast in the dedicating the arc flash and sending command to the circuit breaker. It's almost like instantaneous. So if we spoke about what this brings to arc flash, 80% of the arc flashes, it is a human error. People do a mistake, and people, it's not perfect. It's always like service and maintenance, arc flash by bringing tools or dropping tools, falling tools, forgetting tools in the switchgear. Error of the working parts, removing enclosure parts when during we operating and we putting enclosure in switchgear. Also some misalignments and others can be case of the arc flash. Poor connection, of course, the cable endings, if they're not connected properly, or they are quite old and the connection is loose on the vibration on others. And this is also can bring first of the small air fault, and after that, finally to the arc flash. And reduced insulation also the same, like usually bring to the air fault. And in the production air fault, it's not a tripping, it's usually like alarming. And after that, when you have air fault and it's developed to the arc flash, and it's also the case of the acting faults. Equipment degradation. So all the equipment, if it's oil or gas circuit breakers, case on oil will be losing, and this isolation of the circuit breaker is not enough. And during operation, we have the arc fault and huge arc fault for the opening or closing circuit breaker. So our value proposition in the Schneider Electric arc flash protection. Next, so we have a different, in real life, we have a different levels of the voltages. We have low voltage switchgear, we have mid voltage switchgear, we have a high voltage switchgear, and we have also the in the transmission the extremely high voltage level. This is like for transmission. We have in Schneider huge portfolio of the arc flash protection. Also, we have protection relays, but this is a small recommendation for choosing the arc flash protection. For example, air isolated switchgear for the facilities, for the factories. We suggest use this arc flash protection system, or exactly what we're speaking about today, A3, which is more cost efficient against the complete system. And in some cases, in the level between the middle voltage and the low voltage, could be useful use protection relay with built-in arc flash protection. We have in our portfolio SRG P3 and P5, for example. When we spoke about this air-isolated middle voltage switchgear, of course, again, on the first level, we are suggest use the system because it's a separate system like arc flash. It's more easy understand, and it's not need in this case complicated engineering, but anyway, we can use also the protection relays with built-in arc flash protection. This is need more complicated engineering, and in many cases, goose communication between and understanding the logic behind. But the system, it's quite more easy understandable and implement for the middle voltage. If we spoke about extremely high voltage, so here we have a gas isolated switchgear, and actually the only arc flash protection which is can be sensors implemented, this is a cable ending. In these cases, we are suggesting protection relay like P5 or P7 or P3. Regarding the application by different areas, also for utility, this is mainly experience with what I speak about, or what I have in Finland and Sweden. So for the utilities, use it more system. In this case, that the utility have possibility to choose a most reliable arc flash protection, and they can use Schneider Electric protection relays, or they can use other our competitor protection relays. But in this case, they have possibility have best choice with arc flash protection. In most cases, since it is 3-to-1 with slave units. But our new A3 arc flash protection also fit this very good. It will be more cost efficient with some small exceptions comparing the system. Okay, electro-intensive. This is both application is possible, but by choose, usually the customer choose built-in arc flash protection and protection relays. But in case, again, if they use our competition protection relay, they have possibility to choose our protection relays, our systems, and it's bring a more efficient arc flash protection. Data centers also, that's not huge difference. I would say that in data centers, more concentrate on the systems, again, because it's like separated. Military bases and NPP objects, they are more concentrated on the systems because they have, and we have in Schneider approval for the different military sectors and for the NPP. So this is again the systems and also the A3 application will fit extremely well because A3 protection relays or arc flash protection, it's more easy to configure without any involvement of the configuration by PC. So this is the most request from the militaries and from nuclear power plants. And of course, metro airports, it's a different application, but more I would say that it's protection relay because they are more separated and they have a small switchgear, so that's it's more convenient that they use protection relays. By functionality, also in our portfolio you will find the basic arc flash protection, which is before was V125. Now it's renamed and it's named the A125. So this is a very basic application of the arc flash protection using a standalone unit for fast configuration using deep switches. And now we bring in our portfolio the missing part, which was most attractive, which is take the part of the middle of the functionality and stability and enough application for the arc flash protection, the PowerLogic A3. So this is the system can be configured as A125 using the deep switches and push buttons. But also behind of these devices, we have typical schemes which is we choose for the customer, and using this different scheme, they can have very flexible application with enough cost efficient, which you can cover with one device more base on more point sensors, and you can build a different application for your needs. And of course, if we go for my more high-end application, so it will be V122 solution of the Schneider Electric arc flash protection, where we have main unit and the slave unit and sensors. The main unit have behind the logics, events, and can communicate directly to the SCADA. So this is very high level, and in case when the customer interesting have the all possible information of the arc flash protection, so it's will be possible using a V321. But today we speak more about A3. So here is our new portfolio, A125. This is standalone unit, which has 4 sensors and 2 3-pin contacts. And A3, this is the family from the 4 different units with different amount of the sensors and with different solution of the power supply. We have F, which is a little bit bigger device. They have power supply, and this is the hybrid power supply. We can use 24 voltage or 130 VDC. So this is the flexible power supply. So you not need anymore to think what kind of power supply do you need the power supply. You just use this F model, and it's bring to power supply also to the whole system. And we have also S models, which is a little bit lighter because they don't have behind of the power supply. They get power supply from the communication cable, which is come from the main unit, F unit. So here is small dimensions also for the unit. So as you see, F units, it's 70 millimeters wide and 114 tall, and also deep, so it's 126. And these units can be mounted on the DIN rail, or it's possible that you have this small connection, and you can mount it also as a flash mounting. So here is the units, and you see that here you have power on, operational. So you will see is a device work active. is the device healthy or not. You see sensors, the status of the sensors and the status of the trip contacts. And also indications similar on the A3 for A3 device. So you have here the trip contacts, which can be dedicated on different purpose by using different operational schemes. So here, and also you have watchdog contact for the system. So here is these devices, and on the back you can choose the schemes, or with A1 system you can configure by the DIPS switches. After that you can by the push button configure devices by pushing it and configure the whole system. If you need to reset, you just use the same push button as a reset, but I will come back to this a little bit more careful. So now I would like to check with you middle voltage typical switchgear application using the A3 arc flash protection. So here is one bay of the switchgear. We have the cable compartment, which is separated, and we have the circuit breaker compartment, which is also separate from all the sources, and we have bus bar compartment. Using this free compartment switchgear, we can build the fully selective R flash protection. And if we go like this, so we have here sensor in the cable compartment, sensor in the circuit breaker, and the bus bar compartment. With our standalone unit A1 or V121, we was able to protect only one bay with 3 sensors and provide trip on the our circuit breaker and send command by digital input to the upper level. But now with our new system A3, we are able cover fully selectively 2 bays with 6 sensors, providing trip to exactly on the circuit breakers, which is dedicated by the trip contact with time 2 milliseconds with high speed outputs. And also we can send command by internal bus, which is way faster comparing combination of digital input and outputs. We can send to the upper level unit A3, which can provide the trip, same trip faster 2 milliseconds. This is can bring to us very extremely fast arc flash protection on the whole solution of this substation. So here is typical single line diagram of the substation. I just tried to do some kind of typical for the Nordic zone. Like we don't have a lot of feeders, less than 10, and we have 2 transformers which can supply for their parts. So this is typical scheme for the 20 kilowatt substation. And here you see the situated the units. This is a fully selective system when we have a trip on the subzone, which is on the cable compartment. This means that during the arc flash on the cable ending, we are secure all our application, and we will be able to trip only our exact this feeder when we have our flash protection. By securing the circuit breaker compartment and the bus bar compartment, sorry, here's the mistake, but so we are able send by our internal communication bus command to the upper level unit. And here in this case, we have additional tripping contact, which is 9 milliseconds slow, but we can secure, like circuit breaker protection, we can secure trip on the upper level of the switchgear. So we are able to protect also our incomer on the both part. By dividing this substation left and right side on the groups, we also able to protect our substation from the different parts. So for example, if we have here our arc flash, some of the sensors dedicated, and they're dedicated to the light group 1, which you can set up using this configurational dip on the device. So the devices will know, okay, we are belong to the light group 1, and during any dedication of these sensors, which is dedicated to lighting group 1, we will have trip to our incomer and bus bar coupler. So this means that other part of our substation will be secure and working without any stopping. For securing the second part, we dedicate our arc flash protection to the light group 2, which is also we can configure by our dip switch in the devices. And in case when we have here the arc flash, any sensors we dedicate, they would arc flash will be dedicated to the light group 2, and it will provide the trip to the incomer again and to the bus bar circuit breaker. We can use up to 9 different light groups for the different application. If you, in case you have more complicated solution, this is just basic application, which the most popular in the 20 kilowatts substation, and the A3 can bring to very cost efficient and fast in the engineering and the commission solution. So here the scheme was mentioned. So in the manual you find this different scheme. We have up to 53 different or more, even 56, I don't remember, different schemes. So using these particular schemes, you can choose them in devices, and configuring by push button, you can assign the working scheme for particular units. So in my case before, I was use it for A3F6P scheme 4, and for the slim unit, I was use this scheme number 1, when all sensors will be dedicated to light group 1 or 2, and they can provide additional trip for the bus bar circuit breaker, and also we will have the self diag alarm from the T4 tripping contacts, and also we can have also self alarm from for the A3F units. So during any arc flash, so the self diag contact also will activate and can bring mechanical digital inputs to the SCADA, for example. So okay, here the same substation, a little bit changed, but okay, idea was the same. Here we can use partially selective arc flash protection. Before it was full selective protection, but here when our subzone cables compartment, circuit breaker compartment, and bus bar compartment, they are dedicated as the one zone. For example, lighting group 1 and lighting group 2. This is in case when we have the old switchgear and we don't have visible separation between the cable compartment. So in this case, all switchgear not possible to build selective, because the sensors in this circuit breaker will be dedicated the flash on the cable compartment. So for this application, we can use the same A3 unit. This is need to less unit in this case, because we have also unit with more sensors and with less strip contacts. but will be fit the needs of some old switchgear when you can also implement easy arc flash protection. So here I use only 2 units for the left part of the switchgear and 2 units for the right part. And if you remember, in the full selective, it was more, if I'm correct, it's 3 or 4 units for full selective protection. But here we can also build partially selective protection when we protect the left side of this our substation. In case arc flash, we will have trip on the incomer and the bus bar circuit breaker, but the right side will be on work. In opposite, if we have here any arc sensors will activate it, we have extremely fast tripping on the our units, and we can protect this our right part with working left part of our substation. So for this particular application, we can choose, for example, for A3 F12 units, we can choose scheme number 1 when any sensors will be trip to contacts, which is one is incomer and bus bar. Also, they receive the light from this A3 unit by the group, for example, group 1, and they will provide the same trip. And A3 unit will also, any sensors will be sent command on the light group 1 or 2. We will have one additional trip. For example, it can be used for bus bar, or we can use it for the 110 kilovolts trip, like CBF protection. And we have self-diagnostic for the system. This is also a very cost-efficient solution for some old switch gears, and easy implement and take in use. You don't need configurational tool. You don't need PC. You just choose your scheme, which is could be predefined it, and after that, choosing the lighting groups and scheme on the deep switches on the device. Using the push button, you can configure all the system. So now I would like to speak about a little bit of installation of the sensors and show some examples. So for example, for the A1 and A3, we use point sensors, same sensors like we have in our portfolio before for 3-to-1 and 2-to-1 systems. And for this is some example of the cable compartment installation. So it is enough that sensors will be pointed on the cables ending, exactly on the part which is possible can be reason of the arc flash. And in some cases, this can be even installed when the switchgear are in use. Of course, you should check your local safety regulations. If it's cables ending too near to the installation zone, of course, it will be dangerous for the personnel. But very old switch gears, you have cable ending quite far away from the door. So, and it's even possible to install them when we have in use. Of course, you should check regulations. For example, in Finland, the regulations means that if the distance more than 30 centimeters, so you can install the arc flash, but the guy who do installation, he must be also supervised. So we should have the second maintenance guys who watching that the person will not bring him to the danger. But this is some extremely cases. For example, when we have some factories which is up and running 24/7. So, but in some cases it's possible. And here, example of the bus bar sensors installation. When we have behind of these plates, the bus bar, and in case if it's a bus bar like one tube, and there are no separated walls, visible separated walls between the compartments of the one cubicle and second cubicle. So we suggest you and recommend use the sensors installed to the each second cubicles, because the visibility will be enough for the covering of the bus bar compartment. So this is also during engineering, you can save the money. Of course, if these cubicles, each cubicles has visible blocking walls, so in this case, we recommend to install to the each cubicle the one sensors on the in the cable compartment. Okay, here's. Okay, little bit about A3 units. So here you find also this is in our manual and catalog. So if you remember, we have 4 different units, and this is units in split in the numbers of the sensors. So some of them 6, 12, 6, and 12. Also, they have a different amount of the trip outputs. And when you build your system, you also to take in attention that not all units has watchdog outputs, and this is in the reason that usually that the smallest anyway you need the power supply. If we consider this is the power supply, so you should use this unit, so you will have watchdog. And when you use this second unit, so you can use the watchdog from this. And some of the units, as I mentioned, F unit, they have power supply built in, and S units, they don't have power supply. They use connection cable from the F units, and they use power supply by PO. So here is the sizes. Operational temperature, also very important for the Nordic countries. So this is -40 plus 70s. So this means that we can install these units in the open fields with some kiosk with less warming. So, and they will work in without any complication. So here you see how you can configure these devices actually. So you have one deep switch which is choosing this cam. So you can choose different cam, which you can find in manual also, more detail, and you can use the light group. For the big system, like before where I was discovering the one typical substation for the 20 kilovolts, so at least will be need 2 groups. But for more complicated systems, so you can more groups, and with generators and motors and other systems, so you can use the light group for separation and have a selective arc flash protection for your application. Here is also explanation how you configure this device. So for the first, it's okay, a little bit need to reading the manual, but after that it's quite easy. So when you press, when you configure, install all your sensors and connect all your system, power on. Of course, the error lights will be active because the system is not response on your application. So you need to configure it by pressing one time and holding this push button. You will see that on button will start blink with yellow. So after that, you can release, and system will read all connected sensors, all connected units, all configuration of this our deep switches, and install by himself. So you don't need to do any action. So you just press and push button, and after that, system configure and install by itself. After that, system fully ready for working. And in case if any sensors will be disconnected, any units will be disconnected or application will be changed, you install the additional unit. So it will be activating as error because the original system is not responsible of the configured system. So, and it's turned to the red again. During the trips, also LEDs activate by red, and you will see active sensors, which is on the LEDs activated, and also trip contacts, which was provided trip. So it's quite easy and for configuration installation. So now I spoke a little bit very long, and now I would like also to ask you the question. For this, we are prepared the quiz, and we are trying to test it, but I'm not sure if it's working, but I hope it will be working well. Just a second. Because during our test, this wasn't work correctly in all our participants, but it looks like it's logging. Okay, it looks like our polls is not working. I don't know, is it some kind of internal problem updatings? But here is your question to you, and you can use the chat, and you can answer on the question, why is it important to use air flash protection? So this is the question for you, and you can. Finally, it's downloaded. It's probably that we have a lot of participators. And if you don't have see this poll, you can write also the answer in the chat, and we can after that discuss it. So I give 2 minutes on this, maybe 1.5 for this, and if you to write the answers, so we after 2 minutes we will come back to the discussion on this, and of course after that you can have agree or disagree on this. So I see the some of the person have the chat, so we have quite strong answering on the quiz. Okay, and also if you have no chat, not quiz, launch it, so you can write the answer, free answer on your on the chat meeting. And please do not too harsh or something. Okay, it looks like most persons choose. We have 10 answers, and most persons choose the human life and protection equipment. But I say you that the only one question is right, which is from this list. It is the last question.
Det blir det slut på.
It is. Can you move?
Ja,
please?
men jag sitter bara.
So the last one, to save the money. And I'm eager with my colleague Marianne and Holger, and for this we can go back to my presentation. So here it's one of the testing of the low voltage switchgear of the arc flash. This is type testing of the switchgear. When we have this duration of the arc flash 30 milliseconds. So you see it's almost completely burning. So you cannot use this switchgear. And voltage 440 volts and the current 85 kiloamperes. So you cannot use it. In case in the summary it's not fully covered, that usually they're quite secure because mirroring effect also activate your sensors. And here, like you can situate it. You can situate it on the top, for example. In some cases, you can situate the sensor on the top or on the bottom of your switchgear. So this is also quite easy installation for the low voltage switchgear. And during your maintenance break, you can install arc flash protection sensors and secure your equipment and your personnel. Here is also some small examples. Like here we have a different switchgear. So for example, here we can secure with 2 sensors. Here it could be even enough with 1 sensor. And of course, when we have the separated switches, so we recommend you situate it in the switches also at least 1 sensors. And here example of the more detail of the sensors. So I apologize. Siri, it's activate. So here, like you situated your sensors for the low voltage switchgear compartment. And of course, this is example on the Schneider Electric. Probably in your facility, you have a little bit different switchgear, but using the A3, you quite secure it. And especially we have units with 12 sensors. You can cover huge switchgear part with only 1 unit. And if you remember that it has the power supply and it has the LED, so it has everything what you need. And also especially the fast tripping contact, less than 2 millisecond tripping on your circuit breaker, it will provide this best arc flash protection, which is actually available on the market. So here is again, this is one example. I take it from one of our Finnish partner. So they give me like a wiring diagram, for example. So here, like you can situate it your unit. So you find this compartment when you can mount the DIN rail and mount your units and have a supply for this unit. And after that, you just install the sensors like this. So here we have A3 units with 12 sensors and with 1 tripping contact, which is can provide trip on the main breaker. So, but in case when we have, for example, 2 switchgear situated in the same room, we can connect second unit with second switchgear by a modular cable, which is also provide the power supply to the second unit. So here in this example, you see this second compartment, and we find the place for situated of our second unit, and we situate our sensors. And this will also will be possible to build 1 system in the 2 switch gears with some selectivity for safe and how to say less tripping on the low voltage switch gear. So A1, it is our updated V121 units. So you will find the same parameters from the A1, and so you can after that check our PDF. So it's a rebranded facelift of our units. So probably we have maybe questions. I don't know. We can open our chat. I don't know, Marianne.
Yeah, there is a question here. I think maybe you have covered it, but it also says Tron is asking a question whether what about the motor drawers? Are they also covered by the arc flash?
Yes, of course. If you situated the sensors, these motor starters, also the huge motor starters, they can be as source of the air flash. So situating the sensors and providing the trip on the exactly the circuit breaker which is behind of this, so you be able to secure it. Yes, and you don't need additional middle relays. So this is high power tripping contact, so they can trip any standard circuit breakers. False trip. Yeah. Actually, yeah, Trond, you have exactly correctly. Yeah. A3, it's mainly light only system. So if you have the sparkling and others, so this system will be activated. You're correct. For securing this false strip of the sparkling and like a person flashlight, for example, switchgear parts, we recommend to use our 3-to-1 system, which has current and light. So the current condition, use it as eliminating the tripping of some false tripping with spark or flashing lights. For the A3 unit, we will have at the end of this year soon updated also the current unit, and you even find in our documentation that you can choose the scheme with light and current. So when the current unit will be available, so you also be able to build a fully fault protected system without, for example, with using light and current, like you explained that sparks. But yeah, you're correct. In some cases, you have some tripping, false tripping. But anyway, if you have a false tripping, it's better that you protect your system, and you know by finding the sensors, which is actual sensors, is activated. You can investigate and define, okay, this was some false tripping for some not fully arc flash. Anyway, your equipment will be safe, and you can start your production in the minutes. And the most attractiveness of the A3, it is the easy installation comparing 3-to-1. 3-to-1 system need and also understanding of this working, but it's also I recommend, if you consider to using our Schneider electric arc flash protection, 3-to-1, it's also best choice of our arc flash portfolio. A3, it's as I explained, we are covered the middle part when the customer start thinking about the arc flash protection, but they're not sure they're ready to do a huge investment in this part. And basing on my experience, customer, after using our arc flash protections, after 1 or 2 years, they will update all switchgear, and they take in use more aggressively or more arc flash protection, and usually they choose advanced arc flash protection like 3-to-1 and A3 also. At the end of this year, we will be able to deliver with light and current. So this will be very attractive arc flash protection. And on my opinion, now it's best on the market. Even I'm heard from our competitors that yes, your arc flash protection, it's very competitive. And for the persons who is interesting more, so please contact to my colleague Holger. So he's my buddy. Yeah. So, and we can organize more deep, how to say, advice if you're interested, or if you're interested in more deep training. So this is also possible. We have training centers in Vaasa, here where I'm situated in Vaasa. We have a training center, but also it's possible we organize it on the Norway. And also, if you're interested to have some kind of help and guidance on exactly your application, so please contact to the Hallgeir, and we will help you with starting of the arc flash protection, how you can implement, how better you build your arc flash protection for your needs.